Go ahead.
My name is Yara de Kwasteniet.
And my name is Indira Gerards, and we are the program coordinators at IPCOM. We've been with these graduates behind the scenes, arranging the practical organization of their studies. And so we're also here to briefly mention a few practical housekeeping matters before we get started.
We kindly request you to please turn your phones off or to the do not disturb mode. Our photographer will be taking pictures throughout the ceremony, so feel free to take pictures yourself. But to make sure everyone can enjoy the view, please stay seated while you do so. After the ceremony, there will also be plenty of time to take pictures with your graduates.
Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. They were so excited they couldn't wait, but now it's time. The graduates are ready to enter the auditorium. They will do so preceded by the Master of Ceremonies, or more popular, the Beadle, or in Dutch, Pedel.
So may I ask you, if able, rise from your seats as the cortege enters the auditorium.
And of course, you may applaud your graduates. Laurens, can you go one in the front, please?
No. Hier blijft een plek over aan de voorkant, dat is gek. Of het is... Jezus, wat zijn we niet hoog. Ik denk dat ik alle onder. Thank you. You may be seated.
You guys look great. All right, so welcome to our 10th IPCOM graduation ceremony on our beautiful campus here in Rotterdam, where we reflect on the years that led our graduates to this moment. Today we celebrate their achievements by officially handing them their diplomas.
So without further ado, I would like to give the word to Vice Dean of Education, Dr. Jason Pridmore, and while he walks to the stage, allow me to wish you all a great ceremony.
Thank you, Yara. Thank you, Indira. Dear students of the IPCOM class of 2022, as I stand here before you opening this momentous occasion, this significant transition moment, this celebration of your efforts, I have just one question for you. Who are you? I mean, like, seriously, have we met before? Okay, sorry, I have it. Could you just hold up your right hand, just like in a shape, just, you know, like a backwards L, yeah, and then maybe the other one, a little bit like this, yeah, and then put them together, bring them a little closer to your face. Ah, now I recognize you. Okay, much, much better. Okay, now, it might be that you don't recognize me, aside from being one of your lecturers for qualitative methods. That was a long, long time ago, during which time, of course, I needed to get glasses, and now I have those on, and I can read my own speech. But of course, as Yara just mentioned, I am the Vice Dean of Education, the guy behind countless emails. We're just going to take a short break until April 1st, until all of this blows over. Oh, wait. Yeah, actually, we're not going to have in-person classes in term 4. You're welcome back to campus, but with masks and 1.5 meter distance. And then, of course, after trying to make 2021 happen fully in person, we go back to online again. But after so many emails and so much frustration, you have made it. This is your moment. It is time to celebrate your success and hopefully the strangest educational experience anyone will ever have to endure. But it's not just your moment. We need to recognize all of the people sitting behind you. And I say to all of you, I say, dear friends and family of the IPCOM class of 2022, thank you. If it was in my power, I would like to give many of you educational credits for the courses that were supposed to be held here, in this place, on this campus, but instead our classes were held in living rooms, kitchen tables, bedrooms all over the world, including many of those at your homes and shared spaces. And so we thank you this day for giving our students the support and room, sometimes literally, to help bring the graduates to this ceremony, to this graduation. Whether you supported them at a distance or sometimes too close and personal in your homes, we are grateful for your support in making this moment possible in more ways than we can name. Now, this is not the first time a speech is given in which we're going to talk about what we gained and have lost over the pandemic, and I don't want to dwell too much on this, only that on this occasion we have a chance to think about the course of our study, our students, and what they have completed. What quickly became clear to most of us during the pandemic is how important it is to communicate and communicate well. We were subject to a barrage of messages and information. We watched medical science and public administration play out in real time and demonstrate to all of us how important communication, good communication, really is. IPCOM is a combination of two disciplines, and the concerns of our discipline of communication science became abundantly evident in the past few years. So too did our other discipline within IPCOM become crucially important, that of our humanities focus within the discipline of media studies. We became increasingly aware of the various forms and purposes of media to inform, to distract, and to keep us connected, and how these suddenly had an importance that we long took for granted. It was through media that we watched the numbers climb and fall, politicians and scientists grapple with the issues of public health and more, and through which the wider public responded and organized and protested and supported whatever new measure was announced. For us, and for our students of communication and media, we saw in real time the effects of information and communication technologies and what these afforded. You didn't think we were going to get away with a speech without talking about affordances, did you? They became a lifeline for many, and the only way in which we could even consider or support your continued education. But this context simultaneously reminded us of how important it was to be physically together, to be in a space like this today, to celebrate the important moments of our lives. And that is why today, after so many years of mixed moments of distance and technologically enabled, and let's face it, technologically disabled, educational processes, I am delighted to give this opening speech and this graduation ceremony for all of you as our graduates. Let us never forget the often repeated phrase of this era that endures to this day, a phrase of such magnitude and importance that it is often overlooked, but a phrase that says so much about our world today. You're muted. Please, can you turn on your microphone? Oh, can you hear me now? Now, I admit that I had to say that, and I probably thought for too long about how I could turn that into a real joke, or that joke into some sort of profound, you need to make sure your voice is heard, or you need to listen to each other's statements, but then intending to be inspiring and helpful, I thought that was pushing this too far. Instead, what I want to do is remind you, and to remind all of us, that despite the freshness and fears of the pandemic, history does suggest that pandemics do pass. This time will slowly fade and be increasingly forgotten, or at least we hope. Although we are now forever changed, and while there may be the fear of COVID or something like it in the coming months and years, for good reason we may have those fears, this will not last forever. I say this even as we begin to see rising numbers, once again, but thankfully, which are not so far resulting in the same life-threatening situations as a few years ago because of scientific developments. But I say this, as this tumultuous time slowly fades from memory, it will become a point of interest for the generations that come after us and come after you. My hope for you as you look back on this day, on this moment, as the culmination of your bachelor degree experience, that someday in the distant future, when somebody asks what it was exactly that you were doing during the pandemic, you can say, I was in university, studying communication and media, at the moment in which it was never more important, never more crucial than it has ever been. I leave you with this thought as we turn a bit more to our celebrations and ceremony that marks your transition today from students to alumni of our program. On behalf of our dean, all of your professors, your teachers, your lecturers, and all the professional services staff that have supported you along the way within ESHCC and in the Department of Media and Communication, we all say to you, congratulations, IPCOM class of 2022. And now as we continue, I have the opportunity to welcome to the stage Vitaly Zarinov, one of your own graduates, to continue this.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I think so. Thank you, Jason. And thank you everyone for being here. I'm super happy that I get to present a video I made for this graduation right at the beginning of our ceremony here, because I think everyone needs a reality check. See, our IPCOM journey is technically coming to an end. It has already ended. Some of us are doing a master or working. Some of us are taking a gap year or, I don't know, moving back home. Some are really on top of their game. Others are taking a bit of time to figure things out. It's all fine. Because the reality is we are all taking different paths. But regardless of what you're up to these days, this video is here to inspire you to remember where you are now and what you have already achieved. And with this in mind, I hope you enjoy these final special moments with our IP community. This video would not be possible without our very own IPCOM students who helped transform my creative vision into, this piece that you're about to see. So thank you very much. And a small shout out to my mom and sister joining from the audience, and to my grandma and my dad for tuning in online from the brave country of Ukraine. Enjoy.
We are unique. Even when we appear similar, we are completely different. Even when we have the same goal, our path towards it is not the same.
Okay, yeah, let's call tomorrow at 9 a.m. to finish this.
I finally passed. Mom, I passed so many times.
We can relax all restrictions.
Vladimir Putin has launched a military operation against
news out of Gaza, where the Israeli...
Sure.
We could have looked at the slope of the demand curve.
We are unique, but we have something in common. Every day, we wake up in a world that pushes us to perform at 110%. A society that prioritizes success over growing from failure. Perfect CVs over interests and passions. A university degree over life experiences. What moves into the shadows is our personal situation, upbringing, values, or dreams, when everything we hear on a daily basis is make yourself proud. Today, now, here, in this exact moment, it's our chance to prove the nagging societal voice wrong. It's time to wake up. Unique, but we do have something in common. Every day our society tells us to make ourselves proud. But now that we're awake, we are here. Let's finally realize that the one thing we share is that we already made ourselves proud. You did it. We did it.
Vitaly, thank you so much for your beautiful video. And while the screen fades out, I'd like to welcome Giovanna to the stage for her student speech. Please give a warm applause.
Oh, so many papers. Thank you, Dr. Jason Pridmore, for the warming introduction into this afternoon, and thank you, Vitaly, for yet another great video. Hello and welcome to family, friends, lecturers, staff, and my fellow members of the class of 2022. Congratulations, we made it. For those who don't know me, I'm Giovanna, and I'm honored and also a bit terrified to be standing up here on a final IPCOM assignment to represent the mixed feelings we all share today. Since I got invited to give this speech, I have been wondering where to start and how to do justice to our IPCOM journey in just a few minutes. I thought of starting this speech talking about how resilient we were for completing our bachelor during COVID times, but that seemed to be a bit too cliché, although still worth mentioning. I also thought about looking at this accomplishment from an expat perspective, since roughly half of us moved countries and even continents to study here, but that wouldn't be representative enough, although also worth mentioning. But anyways, it was not easy for me to choose what to say, but the only logical start and promising story I found was to talk about the first outcomes of this journey for us. Where is IPCOM taking us? So I'm sorry if you received a notification on your LinkedIn saying Giovanna Bressa viewed your profile. I was stalking you all for a good reason, and that is to find out what most of you are doing now. And I was mostly curious because whenever I have to explain my bachelor to people, especially IBA students, they ask, but what can you do with it? As in, what career can we pursue? And I get it. IPCOM, although this is a question that usually annoys me, I get that, because IPCOM is a broad course. It's broad enough to have introduced us to people with completely different personalities, but yet similar interests. From corporate minds to artistic communicators, from musicians to video makers to writers. Maybe you joined this bachelor because, just like me, you didn't really know what else to study. But the large scope of IPCOM allowed us to get insights into marketing, journalism, politics, business, human resource management, and even statistics. I thought I would be escaping math to joining a communication bachelor, but I fooled myself in this regard. Anyways, with no straight answer, IPCOM is taking us to large companies, to startups, to marketing agencies, to freelancing, to NGOs, to master programs, and maybe also to sabbatical years. Perhaps you're still figuring out what to do, like I am, and that is totally fine. Because this bachelor was a compass. It gave us a direction of where to go without a specific map. And it's up to us now to hike up mountains and down hills. No matter where IPCOM has taken you up until now, today's the day we celebrate all of those victories. As small as they might seem, they showed us we have succeeded in a million ways, and we should carry this success with pride. But while we wear a cap and gown, today's the day to look back and also celebrate the not-so-shiny experiences, as they also contributed to us being here. The assignments we had to reset, and the job applications and Bumble matches that ghosted us. These were all part of it, and they also prepared us, sometimes more than our wins, to what's next. Because eventually, we will be asked to do things that are boring, too hard, or awkward. And remembering the happy ending of the failures we have encountered here will help bring our motivation back. I think it's safe to say that being an IPCOM student was truly a learning experience. Some of us learned how to cook, others learned how to bike, in the rain, against the wind. Others learned how to be more kind to themselves, and that going to class on Wednesdays after ESN Tuesday is not that fun. We learned to make and cultivate friendships online, and we learned the hard way that, unfortunately, Giovanna summaries is not an academic source. Although it would have been much easier, it would have made our lives much easier if it was. I hope you all take these experiences with you, along the friends you made here. To close this speech, I'd like to use a metaphor I quite like about the difference between a fly and a honeybee. I could not find the author of this metaphor, so apologies for not citing this APA style. But the metaphor goes as follows. Honeybees fly from flower to flower, harmlessly extracting the nectar and pollinating gardens. And even when flying over miles and miles of garbage, honeybees manage to unexpectedly find one flower to kiss. Flies, on the other hand, travel over hundreds of flowers only to focus on landing on a pile of garbage, ignoring all the fragrance a rose garden has to offer. No matter where IPCOM or life takes you, I wish you all a bee mindset. Congratulations and happy graduation.
Feels like I'm a small commercial break every time. But please put your hands together one more time, or no, one more times, for Dr. Deborah Antunes, who will speak to you.
Dear class of 2022, first, congratulations. I want to thank you for the opportunity of being here to give this speech today. This group is very dear to me. We got here together, we faced difficult times together, and we are still here celebrating this day. 2019, for most of us, me included, it was the first time we set foot on the campus of the Erasmus University. We got lost trying to understand why the M building is not Mandeville, which is actually T. We got confused with all the classes changing on our timetables. We complained about the odds of being sent to the dark corners of the university, to the G building, where not even the coffee machines cooperate. See, you are not alone. I was facing all of that with you. We made new friends, and we turned the university into a part of us. We were probably busy, but we were happy. We had no idea what was waiting for us, a global pandemic. From our classes full of discussions and interactions, we were sent behind computers. And what we had of each other was just a small square on Zoom. It was difficult. We no longer had the time to gossip between one concept and another, to exchange a bit of life and not just of content. Some of you were just half present, sometimes half dressed, other times not even. While we tried to keep the connections in this new environment, we knew that much was lost. It was exhausting. But it was also rewarding when you guys told us that you felt a sense of group even when online. We made it together. After a long time of online education, we are finally back on campus. I cannot express how happy I was to see your faces again. Often your exhausted faces after working on your thesis for the whole night, for the whole day, and for the whole night again. But still, you managed to smile and participate. We could once again share a bit of our lives. For some times were even harder, with wars so close to our families and friends. But yet, you are here and persisted. You showed kindness and friendliness, regardless of the circumstances. I want to end this short speech by reminding you that the university is not just a bunch of professors telling you what to do and giving you grades. It's also what happens in between, the talks in the hallway and the parts with your friends. What you learned not for an assignment or exam, but for your life. In the end, it doesn't matter how high your grades were. What matters is what stays with you. The university is about the people you are going to carry in your heart for the rest of your lives, and the experience you shared during these years. It was a lot, and it was not easy, but I'm sure you made the best out of it. You may think that I was there just teaching, but I was also there learning with all of you. And I really appreciate the time we were able to share together. I wish you a great career ahead of you, but mostly, I wish you happiness and a brighter future. Thank you for these amazing years growing together. Congratulations, and I hope our paths cross once again. Thank you. And now, I want to welcome Dr. Tony Kreinen here to continue the ceremony.
Okay, welcome everyone. I will keep it very short. I will hand you over those certificates that you've been working for so long. I've spent my entire morning practicing most of your names. I will try to get as many right as I possibly can, but please do forgive me for the occasional mistake that I'm bound to make. but I think it's time. Okay, the first one is easy. Laurens Martinez van der Valk from the Netherlands. Wouter Jacob Cornelis Sterrenburg. Michelle Bakker. Adriana Cristina Banda Diaz. She graduated cum laude. Antonia Benneke. Jasmijn Boon. Saranda Borova. Anna Linnea Boeronkel. Itske Henrike Louise van den Braak. Andreas Alexander Brown. Yufai Chen. Elmas Hilal Koskun. Jente Diepstraten. Lisanne van Dijk. Jeroen Heidenreich. Bo Lievetse Adriaanse. Merel Willemijn Faber. Amber Christine Heisterborg. Sanne Hogendoorn. Sophia Haya Hussein. Fleur de Jong. Robin Daaf de Jongste. Jacob Piet Kirsch. Julia Shanna Klebe. Emily Marlene Keunen. Suzanne Krolis. Mark Lammers. Louise Lou. Tessa Sanne Gloria Meulens. Max de Mier Molhuizen. Femke Nel. There I go. Tufi Auschwitz Nguyen. Lucia Ostojic. Mariska van Poortvliet. Crystal Go Roding. Sebastian Johannes Hendrik Reddering. Nick Rijenga. Nima Sarvari. Maria Caroline Seidler. Anano Shalamberitse. Milou Sirega. Napon Sichantaropas. En Malotta Beatrice Molle-Smit. Wolf Isabel Smits. Judith Adriana van Staalduinen. Ellen Elisabeth Stelberg. Leon Noël Swan. Jara Terpsma. Ilona Teunissen. Ellen Kimberly Wee-Ting Chong. Nathalie Tosu. Roos Elise de Waard. Evie Anne van der Zanden. Sophie van Zetten. Lea Catharina Zimmerman. Hala Abdul Aziz Abdullah Bohamed. Wiebke Josefa Aapkers. Arish Alam. Lotte van Ankem. Stephanie Ruth Angela. Evangelia Angelido. Timna Angemer. Lucas Antonissen. Dominique Appels. Jooske Grana Wilhelmine Maria Arnoldussen. Camilla Ascione. Alia Zakira Ajar. Maria Eduarda Baldak Novice. Rashmi Simran Balju. Amanda Berretto de Medeiros. Alain Baruchia. Emily Imke Bergeman. Lise Mia Blazer. Chelsea Eileen Blijlevens.
Thank you.
Femke van Bodegom. Serena Christiane Valentine van den Bogert. Chiara Tintia Alesia Bosboom. Anna Wivel Bouchard. Cheyenne Ashley Bouterse. Catalina Bozu. Pablo Jean Bruno. Lindsay McCall Bryant. Giovanna Bressan de Olivière. Bibi Annabel Buitenhek. Soma Kalbo. Danisha Destiny Caron. Danut Tertiair. Gwendoline Yu Ching Chang. Milena Chopova. Alejandro Josef Mudijo van Det. Elsa Maria Bergenveld-Dionelis. Nadezhda Domanitskaya. Daria Dubenko. Gwenelle Mira Dubois. Dirkje Cornelia van Ede. Well, a big applause then for Ishvara Sendo Alwina Esseboom. Mara Helen Förster. Tamara Gerard. Emma Consuelo González del Tanago Romero. Daria Gusak. Irina Gutu. Hanna-Marie Herger. Noah Salome van den Heuvel. Pascal Christine Hoelen. Rosina Adriana Afina Hogerdijk. Protiva Iqbal. Okay, before we continue with the rest of the diplomas, it's time to enjoy some more contributions from our graduates. Please give a warm applause for Jeroen Heiderijk and Bo Lievese Adriaanse as they take the stage for their speech about their IPCOM experiences.
Is it working? Yes, perfect.
Check, yes.
Thank you for the warm applause. I can imagine you already have blisters on your hands, so we're extra thankful for the warm applause.
Moeder, spa, diploma's binnen.
Okay, and also welcome, of course, to all the others except for Jeroen's parents. Welcome, fellow students, parents, and also the people at home, right?
Yeah, everybody at home as well. Lieke, Meerte, Mirjam, Dirk, open home.
Okay, Jeroen, we know that.
Hello, everyone. Bo, are you ready for the last one?
Kind of. We didn't look at the grading rubric for this one, so let's hope it goes okay.
All right, so hello and welcome everyone to our 735th presentation and our final one, finally, of IPCOM.
Yeah, we can finally wear these beautiful blue dresses, even though for us too it was a year later than we actually expected.
Perhaps we should give everybody here a little bit of background of ourselves, as most of the people, nor students, maybe know who we are. And let's explain why we needed this extra year.
Yeah, so we are actually part of the 2018 cohort, even though most students sitting here are part of the 2019 cohort. Yeah, and that number of people from 2018 is actually a fourth of the students, and that is quite an exceptional number.
And I see some of you thinking, what a terrible group of students. How can so many people fill their classes? No, this is not true. I can assure you all the graduates here are extremely smart people, which I'm sure this academic stuff is more than happy to verify. The reason for this extra year is that our IPCOM journey just ended up being a bit different than we had expected back in 2018 when we started here at Erasmus University.
Yeah, so let's go a trip down memory lane for the past 4 years that we spent, because, I mean, as IPCOM students, we're basically experts at storytelling, right?
Yes, so for the quarter of us graduates, as we just said, our IPCOM journey started back in 2018. We finished high school, we came back from gap years, or we just commenced with the second studies.
Yeah, and we got to...
During the Eureka Week and the IPCOM Introduction Week, we got our first impressions of student life here at Erasmus University.
Yeah, and during that IPCOM Introduction Week, we also went on bootcamp and we bonded over games of bubble football or musical chairs. And as true Dutchies, we learned all of you what a croquette, a frikandel and a kaassoufflé actually are.
Once we got the hang of all the course guides,
even though some of you are still figuring it out,
we started with IPCOM. Our weeks consisted of lectures and tutorials, full of Kahoot quizzes, loads of group work, endless presentations, and of course we went to the ESN Tuesdays, Global Beats, and we enjoyed Rotterdam to the fullest.
And with these great memories of our first year, some of us were that excited that we actually became IP companions to welcome the 2019 cohort to the IP community. And I mean, 2 of them are speaking to you right now.
As IP companions and alongside with the others, we welcomed you with open arms and we taught you everything you needed to know.
We taught you how to bike,
where to go for a beer,
when to use the word gezellig,
how to deal with all the deadlines,
and of course which football club to support.
Feyenoord, of course.
The important stuff when studying, right? So with all these fun memories, we actually moved on.
We moved on, exactly.
Yeah, we moved on.
And we moved on to
the not so studying so well for, maybe studying better for our test than for our presentation that we're doing right now here.
Exactly.
Give us a second.
Yeah. All right, so we moved on and COVID hit. That was the thing, now I know. Okay, COVID hit. Bo, that's your part.
Yeah, so COVID hit, so that meant that the first time of our study was a bit different than we expected. So instead of going out for a drink, we actually rushed back to our home countries in fears of the borders closing. So we saw some of you going back to countries like Israel or Denmark,
Finland or Antigua. And suddenly we saw a totally different side of our classmates.
Yeah, we saw their messy bedrooms,
the color of their bathrobes.
We saw what their hair looked like when the hairdressers closed down.
And we finally could see how studies went during IPCOM online.
This is going really well, guys. Of course, the last presentation of IPCOM we mess up. I hope Indira doesn't come after us after
Maybe
this.
we should have checked the grading rubric.
Yeah, maybe we should have. So, basically, we can laugh about it now, because we got to see all these funny haircuts, and it was really funny, but in the end, it really felt like our entire student life collapsed.
We had to...
Kom hier, Jeroen, let's go here.
Waar zijn we?
Luckily, we're already graduated, right? And we picked up our diploma.
Exactly. All right. So, Our dream exchange to Sydney got cancelled twice. Internships got postponed or cancelled, and it felt like our social contacts disappeared.
Yeah, so it wasn't really what we promised, Jeroen.
No, not really. But we wouldn't be IPCOM students if we didn't find a way to still make it work.
Yes, especially in this hard time, it became clear what the true character of the IPCOM student is like.
So, let's identify the typical IPCOM student as we are all sitting right here.
So, number one, let's start with a not at all cliché, is that we're very international. We not only made friends from all over the world, we now also look at the world from a very international perspective.
In addition to the aforementioned argument, cited Lieve Adriaanse 2022, we learned how to read and write academically.
But also how to communicate socially, except for when you're standing on a stage in front of all these people, apparently. Because IPCOM students do not shy away from a presentation and also not from their opinion, because you all voice your opinion, whether it was in person or sometimes on social media.
Talking about social events, our IPCOM students are basically everywhere you go. Whether it is at a student association, sports club, or any party you can think of, IPCOM was always represented.
Yeah, and beyond these fun activities, we also joined extracurricular. So you saw IPCOM students at Eureka Week, becoming IP companions, joining honors programs, Cooper Academy, you name it, or IPCOM students were there. To say that we're ambitious would be an understatement.
So, to come back to the COVID situation, us typical IPCOM students went through it. And in the end, things actually started clearing up. People still could go on exchange, and some found even better internships than they had before.
Yeah, people picked up new hobbies, some maybe better than the other, and we started appreciating the contacts that we made during our studies.
Making us smarter, more flexible, and more appreciative than ever before.
Something I think we should all be extremely proud of.
And now we're sitting here.
With the worst of COVID, hopefully, behind us, this marks the end of our IPCOM journey.
But for most of us, this isn't the end of student life. Some of us have started amazing management masters or other masters in the field, and some even started their careers in the field.
And also mentioned in the previous speech, people started their career in journalism, in business, you name it, recruitment. All students of IPCOM go into different directions.
Whatever path you decided to go on, the experiences and friendship you made from IPCOM will never go away, and we must treasure them forever.
So, don't be sad, this is not a goodbye, but this is a see you later. We're going to keep in contact and we're going to keep close friends, even though it might be from a distance. So keep practicing your FaceTime calls and your Zoom calls, because you're going to need them, and you will have a family member in all corners of the world.
A thank you also goes to the IPCOM staff for providing this environment and always encouraging us to pursue our academic and, of course, career goals. We couldn't have done it without you.
So, Jeroen, I think this is the end of our final IPCOM presentation. I don't think it deserves a pass.
Well, so let's get away with the discussion part for now. But we want to wish you all the best of luck in the rest of your life.
Yeah, we are sure you can do and pursue anything that you put your mind to, so go get it out there.
And if you ever need anyone to help you along the way, we'll always be your IP companions.
And now, after us, we're going to welcome on stage a very nice band of Aisha Roslin and her fellow bandmates for a very nice presentation or performance.
Hi guys. So we've prepared a song today. Some of you might know it, Brown Eyed Lover by Alan Stone. And yeah, once they're ready, we'll start.
a brown eye above on the other side of town. I don't wanna keep on waiting. He's got me upside, tongue-tied, twisted all around. I don't wanna keep him waiting. Oh, I don't know, I can't tell. Will this last or just come and go? It came so fast and my feet feel cold, but my mind is for sure and my heart remains. Oh, he's got everything you want. Wardrobe out of the thrift shop, and all my friends adore him, and I can still afford him. He wonders how my day went, and don't care about my paychecks, but I don't wanna keep my baby waiting. Got a brown pile of love on the other side of town. I don't wanna keep him waiting. It's got me upside, tongue-tied, twisted all around. I don't wanna keep him waiting. Oh, I don't know why will this last days come and go, 'cause it came so fast and my feet feel cold, but my mind is for sure and my heart remains. Oh, he's got everything he wants. Lets me pick the restaurants, and all my friends adore him, and I can still afford him. He wishes I'd stop worrying about when my next paycheck is, but I don't wanna keep my baby waiting. I got a brown pile above on the other side of town. I don't wanna keep him waiting. She's got me upside, tongue-tied, twisted all around. I don't wanna keep him waiting. I've got a brown pile of love on the other side of town. I don't wanna keep him waiting. She's got me upside, tongue-tied, twisted all around. I don't wanna keep him waiting. 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 I don't wanna keep him waiting.
Thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please welcome on stage Dr. Yijing Wang and Dr. Anne-Marie Van Pruyen.
So, it was a beautiful song, wasn't it? Let's give them another round of applause. Welcome, everyone, and dear IPCOM students. Well, now, looking at her standing here, Anne-Marie and Yijing, as the coordinators of the Bachelor thesis class, you don't feel any stress anymore, right? We are not here to remind you another deadline, because you've all completed the thesis journey successfully. We are surely very proud of you, and looking back from the first meeting that you were challenged by your supervisors, and by the way, some of them are right sitting there, to the very last moment that you had to change all these tiny things in your references and submit before the deadline, all the small steps contributed to the milestone. So today we can sit together celebrating this very special day for you. And I must say that this is such a long journey, and it's also a good moment to reflect on who you are, like what Jason Pratmon asked in the beginning, who you want to become, and also how you could contribute to our society. It's a world, it's our world, but more importantly, it's your world. So it will be surely a long journey, and completing your thesis is just the start. So about the IPCOM Thesis Award, this is part of the program's tradition that each year we select one excellent thesis. Sorry, too bad news, just the one. It must be a very remarkable piece, right? Really going above and beyond, showing a very strong theoretical contribution and also with a very important societal impact. So now, let's looking at the 3 shortlisted names.
I'm very happy to share the shortlisted nominees' names, who are Senna Yusufoglu, Lemin Tamle, en Guusje Spruit. Yijing, are you nervous to hear about who the winner is?
Yeah, I'm super nervous because, how could I pretend I don't know the winner?
Exactly. Okay, let's hear some drum rolls. I'm very happy to announce that the winner of the IPCOM Thesis Award is Lemin Tam Le.
Congratulations!
Congratulations! Can you come to the stage, please?
Come to the stage.
Okay, thanks so much. We're going to return to the handing out of the diplomas by Tony and by Yara.
Thank you.
So you're ready for the second batch? Brit Annelie Jacobs. Camille Zoe Jansen. Lily Jeanne. Ina Jia. David Christian Joon. Ran Cavano. Jirik Mariano Kelly. Antonia Charlotte Keske. Catharina Susanna Kool. Madelief Francisca Regina van der Koog. Elisa Elena Kriekaert. Marit Adriana Isabella van der Kwaak. Jacqueline van Lachman de Mello Franco. Ni Hung Lam. Brunelle Camille Leclerc. Floortje Willemijn Levering. Stefan Yannick Liemacher. Chichuan Liu. Meike Cornelia Maria van Loon. Tijmen Willem van Lopik. Ella de Los Santos Verrijp. Naomi Johanna Felicitas Elisabeth Lelou. Diego Rey Lugano. Min Tam Le. Matteo Macchio. Ines Sofia Magalhaes-Otesh. Alisa Mahaletska. Nuria Mamadova. Tijana Marie. Maria Marquis. Markic. I stand corrected. Augustine Medina. Luke Allen Mendonça. Jananushka Bella Migliaccio Buscio. Corel Mohajin Calvo. Zoe Eva Nahon. Han An Nguyen. Kam To Nguyen. Din Dui Kien Nguyen. Nok Han Ha Nguyen. Kim Hong Nguyen. Thi Chen Mai Nguyen. Phu Bao Tu Nguyen. Fenna Nijboer. Mayam Ninite. Nico Kai Nishikawa. Tabea Marie Nordhausen. Marlieke Susanne Otto. Fabiola Pardo Gomez. Noelle Marie Pelletier. Emilia Catharina Marianne van Pettervlie-Rolf? Pettervlie? Pettervlie. Nu Hong Pam. Song Tu Pam. Ti Ha Ti Pam. Vip Hong Ti Pam. Tu Nan Pan. Mariana Pitali. Zoe Rachel van der Plank. Charlotte Claire Veronique Blouchard. Satchvik Puranan. Lynn Poswa. She's already there. Bianca Raichu. Anna Ramsauer. Jip Etta Reinders. Amanda Helena Rijlaarsdam. Tanner Jamieson Robinson. Oh, that was a good one. Jan Carissa Roemeng. Tess Schiphoff. Clarice Schwenk-Lagu. Laura Senem. Magda Salmanovic. Rehanna Aisha Roslang. Harris Alexander Shields. Katerzina Sikora. Simona Simkute. Anne-Jasmijn van der Stelt. Caitlin Courtney Stevens. Sophie Justine Stoem. Paulina Sushilova. Isa Luna Carolina Sveerman. Yvonne Shuji Tang. Paula Franka Tielert. Twan Min Tran. Min Hao Tran. Hong Vi Trong. Zelen Usten. Karin Fahy. Danielle Lindsay van Veen. Maartje Margot van der Velde. Nikita Anna Vergeer. Indy Evelina Lida Verwoerd. Anastasia Winokur. Josephine Anna Volmer. Han Dung Wong. Isabelle Dorothy Rose Walker. Annika Fiona Walter. Willemijn Barbara Maria van Wandelen. Sjoerd Willemsen. Shani de Wit. Paula Frida Wittenburg. Quinten van Wochelum. Kirill Yachmenev. Sadeh Irim Yildirim. Sena Yusufoglu. Essia Zarouk. Tamara Rianne Zwijnenburg. And now we're back to where we began. Vitaly. Do I need to say more?
It's all good. It's all good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. That was the last diploma of this afternoon, but you're certainly not rid of us yet. On behalf of the Department of Media and Communications, congratulations to all of you. It's fantastic to see you here. And before we close today's ceremony, we have some final contributions in store for you. Please welcome to our stage your former teachers, Dr. J. Lee and Julia de Vogel.
All right, thank you, Tony. I'm Julia de Vogel, and this is Jay Lee. And the two of us are the coordinators for, well, two people's favorite course, we counted. Introduction to Statistical Analysis, also known as ISA or Statistics. And for the ones who don't know, this is a course every student here had to take in their very first year, term 2, whether they wanted to or not.
Now, let's go back in time to that first year again. For many of you students, this was just before COVID upended and transformed all your lives and ours. For other graduates joining us today, this will be a little farther back in time.
So in statistics, you faced many challenges. This was the first time you would have to endure a long, and I say long, I mean long, 4-hour tutorial, and in a different classroom, the PC lab. But you were helped and taught by one of our many dedicated tutorial instructors.
Now in statistics, all of us together, you, Julia, myself, and your tutorial instructor, we joined forces in our first triumphant IPCOM battle against the fearsome subject of statistics. Armed with your dedication and wit, you bravely faced against the monstrous SPS.
I don't think the students saw us as always being on their side.
What? No?
Sorry, no. Remember, the teachers were not just teaching the material, but also grading their assignments and exams.
Wait, but I thought they liked the course. Here are some of the things I heard some of the students say.
Well, it was a real struggle for others, don't you remember? Here are some words I remember students saying. You all had to learn so much every week. All sorts of statistical formulas, theory, complicated tables to look up even more statistics, hand calculations that required a calculator, and let's not forget that unfriendly statistics program, SPSS.
Julia is completely right, and you worked all exceptionally hard. But I wonder what else you were thinking at the time. So let's see if we can find out. Maybe Canvas, and for the rest of you, this is the website where students find their course material and submit their assignments. Maybe Canvas can reveal something to us.
So, it seems like a week before the course, some of you were already looking into the material.
And of course, in the first week, you had your first in-class paired assignment when you needed to look up some really difficult material on Canvas.
Let's not forget though, every other week, the assignment was instead an ungraded exercise, so we hope that helped ease some of your stress levels.
And then we can see you learn to work a little better with your assignment partners, smartly dividing your efforts.
By the time week 4 came around, I'm sure you all got used to and definitely appreciated all of the hand calculations we made you do.
Oh look, it looks like some of you were really ambitious and looked at or downloaded course material just before the holidays, maybe to practice more statistics.
So let's see, after those holidays, we're back to statistics.
Now, leading up to week 8's SPSS test, good to see that many of you prepared for it, and also the exam.
And it's also good to see you were interested in how you actually did on that SPSS test and exam, even though those grades are never posted on Canvas.
And then, of course, COVID came and changed all of our lives.
Through all of your struggles, not just in statistics, but in the rest of your IPCOM coursework throughout the pandemic, and including maybe the most difficult of all, your bachelor thesis, all your struggles show how well you're able to meet tough challenges.
Teachers always hope to inspire their students, but every year at graduation, we teachers are reminded of just how much you've inspired us through your curiosity, your dedication, perseverance, and all your hard work. So we hope this brief walk down memory lane reminds you of all that you accomplished all the way back in your first year.
So while not all of you may use statistics in your next steps, we hope and also actually firmly believe that the problem-solving skills that you accomplished starting from way back will serve you well, whether you know it or not.
So we wish all the luck and success to you for whatever comes next. And so on this celebratory day, Julia and myself and the rest of the ISA team wish you a heartfelt congratulations.
Thank you, Jay and Julia. So before we end today's ceremony, we have one last special surprise for you. 6 years ago, I sat where you are sitting today, a proud, newly graduated IPCOM alumna. And today I am honored to have celebrated this milestone with you. And as a former IPCOM student, I know the IPCOM graduation ceremony is not complete without the next part. It's so great that you're all here together. You share so many memories together of the past years, and we hope you will continue to look back on your time in IPCOM hopefully, mostly with smiles and laughs through your shared stories and experiences. I need some water. Thanks. And thankfully, a lot of visual materials exist to enjoy, to remember, to reminisce. Today, we celebrate your journeys to the finish line here in the auditorium. Here's your time in IPCOM in pictures.
Your job's a joke, you broke, your love life's the away. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you. When the rain starts to fall, I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. Still in bed at 10 and work again at 8. Burned your breakfast so far, things are going great. Your mother warned you there'd be days like these, but she didn't tell you when the road was rough down to your knees. And I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you. You're the only one who knows what it's like to be me. Someone to face the day with, make it through all the rest with. Someone I always laugh with, even at my worst, my best with you. Second gear. When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, even your year. I'll be there for you. When the rain starts to fall, I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. 'Cause you're there for me too. I'll be there for you.
Can we please get a quick extra hand of applause for Indira, who spent her precious hours making this beautiful video for. She's on the balcony, so maybe. So thank you all again for supporting and joining our graduates today. Before we close off this official setting, I would like to ask everyone to please remain seated for just a few more moments. Meanwhile, if Richard, our photographer, can take his place in the center aisle, please. Dear graduates, on behalf of the IPCOM office and our academic staff, we would like to congratulate you once again on this great achievement. You have been Bachelors of Science for a while now, but now you also have the document to prove it. And so, before I move on to the final part of the ceremony, I would quickly like to remind you of the class of 2022 graduation after party hosted by some of your fellow graduates. If you are planning to go but don't have your tickets yet, you can find the link in your instructions email and everyone is welcome. Sorry? Oh, go look in the group chat. So for the last part of the ceremony, in a few minutes, I will ask our graduates to find a spot on stage and on the stairs for a group photo. But before you come up here, family members and guests, please remain seated while our photographer uses all the space he needs to photograph this huge group of students. He will take 2 pictures, a normal one and one where the graduates will throw their caps in the air. After he's done and he's left the center aisle, the parents and guests are more than welcome to come forward to take some pictures of their graduates. And then afterwards, please join us in the foyer just outside for some drinks. The graduates have the coins in their bags, and you can pay by PIN if you want some more drinks. So I wish you a wonderful evening ahead. For now, I'd like all the graduates to come forward for the photo. And again, guests, please remain seated until the photographer is done. Thank you very much.
All right.
I think everyone has to stand.
So you may be wondering where the photographer is, but he's actually up here because your group is so big. We're going to make the picture from here. I'm going to hand over the microphone to Richard in just a few moments, and then he will guide you through the process. Or maybe I will, but we'll...
Let's see, we'll see. It's all good right here. I'd say get everybody up on the stairs. Everyone has to be on the stairs.
Like on the steps?
Yes, on the steps.
Okay, guys, I'm instructed to tell you, please use the stairs, like the steps, so that we have some different... Yes, great. This is going well.
This is actually going really well. They are very good.
Very good. Okay then.
Can we maybe ask?
All right, so our instructors on the right, our staff, can you please move a bit to the side so that you're not in the picture? Great. Okay.
All right. Okay, and everyone just look up here at me.
Okay, so what we're going to do, this is a normal picture. It's very formal. You got your official degrees. Keep smiling up here.
Yeah, I have everything for this.
Smile. Try not to close your eyes. Okay. Okay, so for this next part, we're going to throw your caps in the air. And this is a very exciting moment, so take your caps. All right, so to make this picture really great, don't throw them yet, okay? We're going to count for that. But when you throw your cap up, what you want to do is throw your cap in the air and look at it, like up. Looking up. Hold on, let me get a good backdrop. 1 second. All right, so what we're going to do, don't throw them yet, okay? We're going to do 1, 2, 3, throw. And you throw at throw. Okay, everybody good? Yeah?
I'm ready when you are.
Photographer is ready when we are. Are we ready for this?
Yes.
Okay. So when you looking up, right? And try to miss it when it comes down on your face, okay? So 1, 2, 3, throw! Amazing.